We're going to start getting practical now. We've talked about calibrating our monitor. So what we see is essentially what we're going to get if we hit the old file print button. We have an image. We want to adjust this image to correct the colors, and then we want to print it. Now, the printing part's already taken care of because we've calibrated our monitor, but how do we fix the colors in this image? And we're going to start with something relatively easy. We're going to use a tool that's been in Photoshop for a lot of years called Color Balance. We can get color balance in one of two ways. You go up to the word image on the pull-down menu, go down to adjustments and select color balance, or we can do it from an adjustment layer, which is what we want to do. So I'm going to move this up here so you can see this easier. This little button right there, it looks like a half moon, has a lot of really cool stuff in it, and we're going to use color balance from here. So you say, what's the difference? The difference in using color balance from here is that we're creating a color adjustment layer. Now, a color adjustment layer, or just adjustment layer, allows me to change an image without actually physically doing any damage to it, non-destructive. Here's our color balance layer. Here's the part it's going to change. And oh, one other thing. I've split this image into two pieces so you can see the before and the after of the image as we begin working on it. Another thing about CS4 and CS5, if you do an adjustment layer, the adjustments actually appear over here in this panel. So I'm going to drag that out too so we can see that. I'm going to stick it right down here and let it grab on and move with that one. We have three sliders, cyan to red, which are the opposite colors, magenta to green, and yellow to blue. We can adjust this image by using those sliders. And again, although we're changing this one, it's influencing what's underneath it. So this one won't change. You'll see the difference. This image has a little bit too much blue in it, number one. You might see something a little bit different on your monitor. So I can't guarantee this is going to be, to you, a perfect change. If your monitor is calibrated, however, it should work. I'm going to come down to blue and add some more yellow. Now what that's going to do is eliminate blue. And as we drag this way, you will notice, and again, that's why I did this, so you can see the change. Here's the original. You can see the blue in it now. It's easier to see. And we're getting actually more green by adding that yellow. I want more green in this thing too. So I'm going to try moving up here and pulling a little bit this way. And as you can see, I'm increasing, even in the trees, the amount of green that appears in this image. And maybe knock down a little bit of the tonal value by going with cyan on the other side. You will also notice that we are working on midtones. Midtones comprise most of an image. I'd say in many cases, a normal image would be 80–90% are in the midtones. You do have shadows and highlights, and we can work with all three. If we go to highlights, everything resets itself. And again, I do want to get rid of any of that blue in the highlights. So I'm going to go very lightly. And again, that's pretty easy to see. It's beginning to lighten it up in here. And a little bit more green. I don't think we need to do much, if anything, in these really dark shadow areas. So I'm going to leave that alone. So here's the before and here's the after. To apply it to both pieces, maybe we're ready to print. That's easy too. Bring color balance as an adjustment layer and drag it up until it's directly above the other one, and it will apply to both of them at the same time. So if we turn this off now, you can see the before and you can see the after. A simple way to adjust color in Photoshop using your eyes, using color balance.